Yes. So are you able to see the screen or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first it is regarding a truly beautiful mind. So it is about a genius person. A genius person is one who has some extraordinary talent that could be regarded as a truly genius person. Okay, for example, you see the lesson is about Albert Einstein. He could be regarded as a genius person because of his achievements, because of his scientific discoveries. Virat Kohli, he could be due to his outstanding contribution there to the game of cricket. Okay, then you can regarding Akshay Kumar due to his work to the film industry. Okay, then children, in this lesson we will discuss regarding major works of Einstein. Okay, so here you will come to know regarding theory of relativity, that is E is equal to mc square. So that was the big theory, that was the big discovery given by him to the world. Then photons and energy quanta, then wave particle duality. Okay, so all these, as you see there on the screen, these are some of his scientific contributions. Then summary of a truly beautiful mind. What we are going to read in this particular lesson. This chapter is about Albert Einstein. About whom this is? This is about Albert Einstein. The title of the chapter, A Truly Beautiful Mind, refers to Albert Einstein as he was a great scientist. Why he has been referred as a truly beautiful mind? Because he was a great scientist. He gave many great discoveries to the world of science. Moreover, this chapter is a short biography of his. It highlights some of his qualities. Also, the chapter shows Albert's interest in mathematics and physics and his ordinary human attribute about how he was as a human being and what were his contributions. All these we are going to study there in this lesson. If we talk about the title, A Truly Beautiful Mind, may let you wonder how a scientist's mind can be beautiful, how his mind has been regarded as beautiful. So it is because in this lesson we get to know about another aspect of his life. We know about another aspect of his life, his other side, that he believes in humanity. Okay, he used to have a great faith there in humanity. Okay, and that's why he was against the wars. Okay, he was against the nuclear bomb. All this you will come to know there in this lesson. Moreover, he advocates world peace, non-violence in his entire life. Okay, he advocated for the world peace and he advocated for the non-violence in his entire life, and that were the qualities which were making him a great human being. That's why the title refers to him as a truly beautiful mind. How the title is justified? Because not he was a great scientist, but he was a great human being. Okay, and he had a firm faith there in humanity, and that's why he was advocating for the world peace. He was favoring the non-violence, and he raised his voice against the making of the nuclear bomb. Okay, so likewise you will read all this there in this lesson. Then this word meanings, that of difficulty level, freak. Albert Einstein has been referred here as a freak. So what is the meaning of the word freak? A word used disapprovingly to talk about a person who is unusual and doesn't behave, look or think like others, who is not like others. Okay, who doesn't behave like others, who is quite unusual. So for that person it is used. Amateur, that is doing something for personal enjoyment. If someone is doing something for personal enjoyment rather than as a profession, then that is amateur. And professional, one who is involved in something as a professional. Okay, then regimentation. Regimentation means order or discipline taken to an extreme. If you are following any order or discipline up to an extreme level, then that is termed as a regimentation. Then stifled. Stifled means unable to breathe or suffocated. Stifled, the word means unable to breathe or suffocated. Then liberal. Liberal means willing to understand and respect others, who is following his doctrine but giving ample space to others' ideas also. Okay, so willing to understand and respect others' opinions. Einstein in 1900 at the age of 21. Okay, so this is regarding that. Then a truly beautiful mind, Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm without any indication that he was destined for greatness. The lesson is about Albert Einstein, where he was born. He was born at the German city Ulm. Okay, and when he was born, at that time he was not having any indication that he was destined for greatness, that one day he will become a great child. Okay, so where he was born, children? Yes, students.
German city of Ulm.
Yes. On the contrary, his mother thought Albert was afraid. Means he was an unusual child. He was not like others. To her, his head seemed much too large. At the age of 2.5, Einstein still wasn't talking. When he finally did learn to speak, he uttered everything twice. He used to utter things twice when he started speaking. So this is something unusual about him. Okay. Then Einstein did not know what to do with other children, and his playmates called him Brother Boring. His playmates used to call him Brother Boring. His, his playmates called him Brother Boring. So the youngsters played so the youngster played by himself. Much of the time he used to play by himself. Okay, he especially loved mechanical toys. He used to love the mechanical toys a lot. And looking at his newborn sister Maja, he is said to have said, "Fine, but where are her wheels?" He considered her sister as a mechanical toy. Okay, when a sister was born, looking at his newborn sister, the name of the sister Maza, he is said to have, he said that, "Fine, but where are her wheels?" Okay, so that can indicate about him what a kind of child he was and how much he loved the mechanical toys, that he thought that his sister was also a mechanical toy. A headmaster once told his father that what Einstein chose as a profession would not matter because he will never make a success at anything. This is what the headmaster at school used to believe about him, that what he is going to become in life, or what they used to think about his potentialities. But what he became in life, that speaks about his worth, that speaks about his value. Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6 because his mother wanted him to learn violin, and that's why he learned it. He later became a gifted amateur violinist, maintaining this skill throughout his life. Okay, so amateur, the word we have already discussed. This means that when something is involved in something, not as a profession. Okay. Then Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6 because his mother wanted him to. He later became a gifted amateur violinist, maintaining this skill throughout his life. But Albert Einstein was not a bad pupil. He was not a bad student. Okay. So he went to high school in Munich, where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old and scored good marks in almost every subject. He went to the school there in Munich. Munich is the name of a city, so where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old and scored good marks in almost every subject. There he scored good marks there in almost every subject. Einstein hated the school's regimentation. What is the meaning of regimentation? Yes, students.
The discipline which was followed in the school.
Yes, strict discipline. Okay. So he hated
order or discipline taken to an extreme.
Yes. Okay, so he hated the regimentation. So he went to high school in Munich, where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old and scored good marks in almost every subject. Einstein hated the school's regimentation, that is the strict discipline of the school, and often clashed with his teachers. At the age of 15, Einstein felt so stifled there. Stifled means, the meaning we have discussed, suffocated. Okay, there that he left the school for good. The previous year, Albert's parents had moved to Milan. This is also the name of a city, and left their son with relatives. After prolonged discussion, prolonged means an extended discussion. So after prolonged discussion, Einstein got his wish to continue his education in German-speaking Switzerland. He wished to continue his education there in German-speaking Switzerland, in a city which was more liberal than Munich. It was more liberal. It was giving more freedom to express one's opinion. Okay, it was also considering others' opinion in a democratic manner. Einstein was highly gifted in mathematics and interested in physics. He was a gifted child there in mathematics, and he was also very much interested in physics. And after finishing school, he decided to study at the University of Zurich. But science wasn't the only thing that appealed to the dashing young man with the walrus mustache. Okay. He also felt a special interest in a fellow student. He had a special interest there in a fellow student, and the name of this was Mileva Merrick, the name of this student, whom he found to be a clever creature. He found Mileva a very clever creature. This young Serb means who is that of a Serbian origin. So this young Serb had come to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women could get degrees, and that's why Mileva Merrick came there for her higher education. Now Einstein saw in her an ally against the Philistines. Ally means a friend against the Philistines. So those people in his family and at the university with whom he was constantly at odds, the couple fell in love. He fell in love with Mileva, who Albert Einstein. Letters survive in which they put their affection into words, mixing science with tenderness. Wrote Einstein, "How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion." Okay, children. So so have you understood what we have discussed so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes,
it is
sir.
yeah. Uh, what was what was Einstein's mother's opinion about him, what Einstein's teacher's opinion about him, how the school headmaster used to consider him, okay, and regarding Mileva Merrick, all this we have discussed, okay. Then in 1900, at the age of 21, Albert Einstein was a university graduate and unemployed. He was unemployed at that time. He worked as a teaching assistant. As a teaching assistant, he worked, gave private lessons, and finally secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert. He got a job as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. Bern, a city there in Germany. While he was supposed to be assessing other people's inventions, Einstein was actually developing his own ideas in secret. He was also developing his own ideas in secret when he was doing the work of a technical assistant there at Bern. Einstein was actually developing his own ideas in secret. He is said to have jokingly called his desk drawer at the work Bureau of Theoretical Physics. He used to call the drawer of his desk. He used to call the drawer of his desk as the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. Why? Because he used to keep the papers of his secret discoveries there in the drawer of his desk, and that's why he used to call it as the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. Now, one of the famous papers of 1905 was Einstein's special theory of relativity. One of the famous paper was his theory of relativity, according to which time and distance are not absolute. Indeed, two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again after a journey. If one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. So he gave this theory of relativity. From this followed the world's most famous formula, and from this theory of relativity came the world's most famous formula, which describes the relationship between mass and energy. Okay, so this theory was given by him, the theory of relativity. Okay, then while Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling. His private life was unraveling. Means starting to fail. You write the meaning. Unraveling. Starting to fail. The meaning is given here in the textbook. After finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. Okay, so his private life was unraveling. His private life started failing. Albert had wanted to marry Mileva. He wanted to marry Mileva right after finishing his studies. She thought Mileva, who was 3 years older than her son, was too old for him. But the mother was not in favor of this marriage. She is a book like you, his mother said. Einstein put the wedding off. So the mother was not in favor of their wedding, in favor of their marriage. The pair finally married in January 1903. Finally, in January 1903, they married and had 2 sons. But a few years later, the marriage faltered. The marriage faltered, it became weak. Faltered, became okay. But a few years later, the marriage faltered Mileva, meanwhile, was losing her intellectual ambition. Mileva was also losing her intellectual ambition and becoming an unhappy housewife. She was becoming an unhappy housewife. After years of constant fighting, the couple finally divorced in 1919. In 1919, they divorced. Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. Elsa the same year he married. Okay, so this is how their married life turned out to be a failure. That you should know. He married with Mileva. Einstein's mother was not in favor of this marriage, but even after objection from his mother, he married with Mileva. Later on, the marriage turned out to be a failure, and he married with his cousin Elsa. Now, Einstein's new personal chapter coincided with his rise to the world fame. In 1915, he had published his general theory of relativity. He published his general theory of relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity, which gave a new definition to gravity. An eclipse of the sun in 1919 brought proof that it was accurate. Okay. Einstein had correctly calculated in advance the extent to which the light from fixed stars would be deflected. At what angle the light will be deflected? Through the sun's gravitational field. The newspapers proclaimed his work as a scientific revolution, and his theory of relativity was considered as a scientific revolution. Einstein received the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. In 1921, he received the Nobel Prize for Physics. He was showered with honors and invitations from all over the world, and as he got the Nobel Prize, he received blessings, support, and good wishes from all over the world, and lauded by the press. Everyone praised his discoveries. So, children, are you getting acquainted about the life of Albert Einstein? Yes, children,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all about him, when he was born, where he studied, why he left a particular school, okay, when he was a child, in what he was having interest, okay, all these, with whom he married, how the marriage turned out to be a failure, all these you should know. Then when the Nazis came to power in Germany in 1933, in your history textbook you have studied about the Nazism. The Nazis, they came in power there in Germany. So when the Nazis came to
Yes,
power
sir.
in Germany in 1933, Einstein immigrated to the United States. He immigrated to United States. 5 years later, the discovery of nuclear fusion in Berlin had American physicists in an uproar. There was the discovery of nuclear fusion, and due to this, there was an uproar. Uproar means very upset, very unrest there in America. Many of them had fled from fascism, just as Einstein had, and now they were afraid the Nazis could build and use an atomic bomb. They thought the Nazis could they can make or they can use the atomic bomb. So, at the urging of a colleague, Einstein wrote a letter to American president. He wrote a letter to American president Franklin D. Roosevelt. He wrote a letter to Roosevelt, the president, on 2nd August 1939, in which he warned a single bomb of this type exploded in a port might very well destroy the whole port together with some of the surrounding territory. He warned that how severe could be the destruction caused by a bomb of such a nature. Okay. His words did not fail to have an effect, and his words were exactly proved right, because later on the same impact was felt that of the bomb when it was dropped at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The Americans developed the atomic bomb in a secret project of their own and dropped it on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. Okay. Then Einstein was deeply shaken by the extent of the destruction. He was deeply moved, he was deeply shaken by the extent of the destruction. This time he wrote a public missive. Missive means letter, especially long and official. You write the meaning of missive, a letter that is especially long and official. So he wrote a letter to the United Nations. In it, he proposed the formation of a world government. He proposed the formation of a world government. Unlike the letter to Roosevelt, this one made no impact, but the letter made no impact. But over the next decade, Einstein got ever more involved in politics. He got more involved in politics, agitating for an end to the armed build-up and using his popularity to campaign for peace and democracy. He campaigned for peace and democracy, and he campaigned against the armed race. Okay, he launched a movement that there should not be any armed race. If there will be armed race, that will be dangerous for the mankind. Okay, so he launched a campaign for the establishment of democratic governments, for peace and against armed races. When Einstein died in 1955 at the age of 76, he was celebrated as a visionary and world citizen as much as a scientific genius. So not only he was a scientific genius, but he was a world visionary. Not only he gave the world scientific discoveries, okay, but he advocated for democracy, for establishment of peace and against armed race. Okay, so he was aware of the dangers that of armed race, and that's why he was against it. He raised his voice. He was in favor of the peaceful existence of mankind on this earth, and that's why he warned against the dangers of nuclear bomb. Okay, so all these are making him as a world citizen, because he thought for the entire mankind, he thought for the entire world, and that's why he was in favor of establishment of the democratic governments, where every human being can have a share therein power. That's why he advocated for peace and for against the armed race. Okay, children, so this is the lesson about Albert Einstein. Okay, it is providing you a detail about his personality. Okay, where he was born, how he was as a child, where he took his schooling. Okay, as a student, what a kind of student he was, what was the thinking of his teachers about him, what were his liking and disliking at the school. Okay, then with whom he was married, what were the outstanding discoveries, what were the outstanding contributions given by him to the world of science. Okay, for what he got Nobel Prize, how he became a celebrated scientist, how he was applauded, how he was praised all over the world. Okay, so all this you should know. How his marriage turned out to be a failure, how he was a world citizen, all these are the things you should know in this lesson. So is it clear to you, children? Yes, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then thinking about the text, here are some headings of the paragraphs in the text Write the numbers of the paragraphs for each title against the heading. The first one is done for you. Okay. So different paragraphs and different titles are given for different paragraphs. Okay. So you have to tell that this particular title is for which paragraph. Einstein's equation, this is for which paragraph? It's already given there in the book. This is for ninth paragraph. Now Einstein meet his future wife. This is a title for which paragraph?
7th.
Yes, in 7th,
Seven.
he also felt a special interest in a fellow student, Mileva Merrick, whom he found to be a clever creature. It is given. Then the breaking of a violinist. This is a
Third.
title.
Third.
For which paragraph, Anamika?
3rd.
Third.
Yes, for third. Then a letter that launched the arms race. Before this, Mileva and Einstein's mother. Mileva and Einstein's mother. This is for
10th.
for paragraph number 10. Then a letter that launched the arms race. This is a title for paragraph number
15.
15.
At the urging of a colleague, Einstein wrote a letter to the American President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Okay, so you have understood it. Then a desk drawer full of ideas. When he yes, as a technical assistant there at Bern, he used to keep his inventions, his ideas, his scientific discoveries there in the drawer of his desk. So a desk drawer full of ideas. It is for 8. And marriage and divorce.
11th.
11th
11th.
paragraph. This is for 11th paragraph. Okay, children. So this class we have discussed all these things. We have discussed about the paragraph heading also. That for which paragraph
sir.
what heading could be given. So this is about Albert Einstein. He was a great scientist. He gave the theory of relativity. Okay, he got Nobel Prize and he was a great human being. We can say him as a world citizen. How he could be termed as a world citizen? Because his vision was not up to the boundaries of a particular country. His scientific discoveries, they are for the entire mankind. They are for the benefit of the entire world. Then his ideology, that of democracy, that was also not only for his country, but was favoring the entire world. That was for the well-being of human beings all over the world. Then he advocated for world peace. So that was also making him a world citizen, a great human being. Okay, and he was against arms. He was against armed race, and everyone knows that they can't be good for the human existence. Okay, and what was the result of the use of the nuclear bomb that everyone has witnessed? So all these are making him a great human being, a great world citizen. Okay, so we will discuss the remaining things there in the next class. Okay, students, so this class comes to an end here. Thank you. And
Thank
you do this question there in your notebook, children. The first question, as we have discussed, you do it in your notebook. Okay, and the remaining questions we will do in next class. Thank you, children.
Thank you, sir.